Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a reading. Now I must admit something. I did this reading maybe like a week ago. And then a day or two after I did this reading, New Jeans did a just spur of the moment meeting announcing their departure from Adore and Hybe. And I could have left that reading up and uploaded that reading and just prefaced that it was filmed a couple days prior. But it felt a little disingenuous, and there was a lot said in that video that would have been just a little too coincidental for y'all's liking, I feel like. I feel like y'all would have said I was lying. But I wasn't. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to read you this reading, and basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at every single Hybe group, at least the ones that I can remember, and we're going to see how all of them feel about the situation with New Jeans. Not necessarily the members themselves, not necessarily like, you know, any sort of beef, just how they feel about the situation. I got requested to do this reading, and I thought it would be fun, and I also thought that it would be nice to do this in one video for every single group, so that I'm not making a ton of videos that is just like this group and New Jeans and this group and New Jeans, because I feel like a lot of people want to see how certain people and how certain groups feel about New Jeans because of everything that's been happening with them. So this just kind of kills a bunch of birds with one stone. And if you enjoy this, let me know. And maybe I'll do more of these type of videos where I do a bunch of groups about one single topic. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull a card for New Jeans, and then I'm going to pull a card for each group. And it's going to be BTS, sserafim, illit, TXT, 17, viviz. Who am I missing? I am going to pull for katseye, even though they are Hybe and Geffen, they're still technically Hybe. So I'm going to do katseye as well. And I'm going to pull for formis 9. And if I'm missing anybody, deep apologies. Sorry about that. My brain can only do so much. Today's the same day that we learned of Yeontan's passing, so I've been kind of in shambles all morning. So please forgive me if I'm forgetting any groups, but I'll call them out as I pull the card, and we'll go from there. Alright. Okay. Let's get started. Okay. So, New Jeans. Bear with me while I figure out this layout. Okay, BTS. Sserafim. illit. That's better. Illit. Can I put one more? Yeah, I can. TXT. 17. Formis 9. Viviz. And katseye. Okay. Okay. This is a lot of cards. And if I feel the need to pull for other, like, cards to get more clarification, I will do that. It might not be for every group, but it'll probably be for a lot of them. So, just keep that in mind. Is this everybody? Yeah. New Jeans, BTS, sserafim, illit, TXT, 17, Formis 9, viviz, and katseye. Apologies. Oh! Enhypen. Whoops. Okay. Enhypen. Okay. Okay. So, we're going to start with New Jeans. So, New Jeans is the Chariot reverse. This is kind of interesting. It's a little different than when I read them beforehand. They were feeling very positive and sunny. And I know why now. Why they were feeling so positive. But the Chariot reverse is about a lack of control. So, they feel like this situation, they no longer have the control over it that they thought they did. I think maybe there was a sort of meeting or something that somebody said, like a CEO or like a manager or something, that made them kind of go, wait, we don't actually have the control we think we do. Now that's not to say that I think New Jeans is just kind of screwed and they're not going to be able to sever their contracts or whatever. It does mean that they don't have as much control over the situation as they thought they did. That's not really shocking to me. We have kind of seen Hybe say that. I'm not sure if it was Hybe or Door. I read an article about it. And take that with a grain of salt because these articles like to lie. But I did see where Hybe, it was either Hybe or Door, said that they don't have any rights to sever their contract and that there was no talks about it and that they can't really just do that. And I know that as well. You can't just say, hey, I'm done and be done. It is a legal battle. And I think that New Jeans knew that, but I think that they just assumed that they had a leg up that they might not have on a technicality. I think that whatever, like, rules in their contract or whatever agreements are in their contract that were severed, there's, like, a technicality to it. It's something that could be debated. And because it can be debated, they're like, maybe we're not as, like, locked as we think we were. I'm going to move on. So we're going to move to BTS. BTS showed up as the King of Wands. Now, the last time I did this, they showed up as the Six of Pentacles, which is a very generous card. They felt like they were giving a lot to New Jeans. And I still kind of feel that here. I still feel it's almost like a wise, older brother, father, kind of just somebody who's been through the shit and has kind of like risen above now, kind of like a higher intellect kind of person. So it doesn't surprise me to see that this is BTS. Um, I think that they ultimately kind of support New Jeans' decision. BTS have always kind of felt a protective energy over the people in other groups, and just because of like the artistry, you know what I mean? Like they've been through it. They know what it's like to get screwed over by like a CEO or a company. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily shock me to see this for BTS. I think that they just feel a little bit of a responsibility over not just New Jeans, but like the entirety of Hybe. And I keep saying, I have said it time and time again, and people don't want to believe me and people don't want to listen to me, that BTS are gonna get out of the military and get into Hybe and start cleaning house, and that is exactly what they've been doing. Big Hit is now gotten a new CEO. Like there's CEOs and creative directors changing all over Hybe right now, all over Hybe, and that includes Enhypen. You know, now granted, I think Enhypen was gonna be on the outs anyways because of the things that she did. But you're not going to be able to convince me that all of these people suddenly stepping down or leaving the company or being replaced is just what it is. You know, that it was 100% the Bangtan pool, because they feel both financially and emotionally responsible for Hybe, and they feel responsible for the groups in Hybe. So I think that they feel if New Jeans are unhappy at Hybe, then they shouldn't be there. They don't want them there if they're going to be unhappy. They would rather them leave and be happier, healthier, you know, continue with the art that they want to make, then keep them at Hybe if that's not what they want. I don't think I need to pull anymore for BTS. I kind of understand what they got going on. I'm going to move on to sserafim. Sserafim is the Ten of Cups reverse. That's like an issue with like family and a separation of family. They're actually pretty upset. They're upset about New Jeans leaving. And I don't mean that in like a weird fan war kind of way. I mean that in a genuine, like, they feel like everyone in Hybe is a family and they feel like they're losing a family member. Like it's emotional, you know? It's deeper than that. They feel like New Jeans are like their little sisters, and their little sisters are being pushed away and leaving and moving on, and that their family is breaking apart. It's actually pretty rare for me to do a reading about a K-pop group, and even two K-pop groups especially, and pull a Ten of Cups for them. Ten of Cups is family. It is very close family. So usually when I read K-pop groups, they show up as the Ten of Pentacles, which is a familial card. It is family, but it's more businessy. It's more about the money. It's more coworker and associate. When I pull the Ten of Cups, that's emotional, that's deep, that's a real, genuine family connection. And there's not too many groups that I can pull that for. BTS is one of them. And I read enhypen off screen, and they got that card as well. In fact, I'm sure if I pulled for a lot of Hybe groups, I would get this card. Because it seems like a lot of Hybe groups are the ones that genuinely see each other as a family, and I think that is just kind of BTS influence. But it's especially rare to see two groups, like two separate groups, consider each other family. And the Seraphim considered New Jeans like family to them. So they're pretty upset about this. I think they would have liked being in the same company as New Jeans. I think that they would have liked being able to do content with them, and like TikToks and things like that. But that's not the way that things went, and I think they're just kind of mourning that. Let's move on to Illit. So Illit is the Ace of Swords. I think in some twisted kind of way, there's this feeling of, and this is not necessarily coming from Illit, it's just kind of coming from the general kind of idea. There is this kind of shady thought of, well, since New Jeans is gone, we can push this more. Y'all are gonna get so mad at me for that. You're gonna get so mad at me for that, but I don't really care. It's what I see, and I'm not gonna lie to make anybody feel better. But I think, you know what? I'm gonna pull for them. I want more clarification for Illit. I'm not just satisfied with an Ace of Swords, because that doesn't feel like it's coming from them. That feels like it's coming from, like, maybe their managers or something. Like, yeah, that doesn't feel right to me. Oh. Oh. Okay. So, somebody betrayed them. What? Who is this? So we have an ace of... I'm sorry, not an ace. We have a King of Pentacles and a King of Cups. These are... That's gotta be Bunk PD and Source Music. It's gotta be. Unless it's their CEO. There's two people... Why do Illit know this? Why do they know this? Huh. It's through the legal battles. Oh my gosh, this has to do with the freaking... What was the saying? Out with the New Jeans, in with the new, or something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. That kind of sentiment. I think it was the letter, right? It was the letter that said that. They felt betrayed by that, I think. Illit did. You know what this seems like to me? It seems like to me that Illit was being kind of, oh, you know, we're the good guys, we're, you know, we have never done anything malicious to New Jeans, you're not a competitor to New Jeans, like, your sounds are completely different, which they are, by the way. Their sounds are completely different. Like, you're not, like, you're basically, they have been told over and over and over again that this situation was ridiculous, and that there was no connection between them and New Jeans. And because of that letter, because it's legal, they found out about this through like the legal system, the courts, and fighting. It's like the kind of the truth coming out at the end of a fight. Through that letter, they found out that that was a lie. That those were all lies. That they were in fact used as kind of a competitor against New Jeans. I don't think they ever thought they were. I'm gonna have to watch back my illit reading. I don't remember exactly what I said in that reading, but I don't think these girls ever thought that New Jeans was a direct competitor to them. And maybe that's why they had some sort of weird animosity towards New Jeans, because they were feeling like New Jeans were just kind of hating because of enhypen, right? And that there wasn't any really grounds for it. But now they're kind of realizing that there was some grounds for it through this, like through all of this infighting, through like the truth kind of coming out. It's two people involved, two of the CEOs. I'm not sure who. You could argue that until you're blue in the face. It's just somebody who really likes money and somebody who is a bit more emotional. But they're both kind of like leaders. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the CEO of B-Lift and Bong PD. I'm not sure if it's Bong PD and the CEO of Source Music, or Hybe, or if it's Hybe and B-Lift. I'm not sure. It's two of them that were really trying to push this to them, this kind of narrative, like, you know, don't worry, you guys are nothing like New Jeans, like, you're not a competitor to them, like, they just want to attack you. You know what it is? It's the same things that enhypen would say to New Jeans. To make New Jeans dislike and turn on their peers. It's the same thing. All CEOs are the same, man. All CEOs are the same. I want to do one more line for them. That's juicy. I didn't expect that. Let it be known, I didn't really see this last time, so. There's definitely some secrets coming out. Were any of the illit members trainees? Like for... So I know that before New Jeans debuted, they had a couple other girls training to be in the group. Were any of the illit members a part of that? Because I'm just kind of feeling that way. I'm kind of feeling like we could have been a whole group together, like a massive group, if it wasn't for, like, these people. I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling that. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on from illit. Which one was this again? TXT. TXT is the Three of Pentacles. You know what's funny is I think that TXT, they're like a mini BTS in a way. And I don't mean that as shade. I mean, like, that's a good thing. You want to be a mini BTS. BTS are wonderful. I just mean that in the way that they think a lot of the times. They share a lot of the same sentiments that BTS do. I do think that their worry about this is more material. I think they're worried about not just new genes, but I think part of them, sorry, my light keeps going out. I think part of them are also worried about Hybe in general. But they seem to be in kind of planning mode. TXT seems to me like they're just kind of, okay, let's plan, let's prepare, you know, we need to be prepared in case like shit goes down. Which is kind of funny to me because they're assuming that some shit's gonna happen and that Hybe's gonna lose a lot of money, which they are because they're in debt for like a crazy amount of money right now. It's like $700 million. So, and with all these legal battles, they're just worried about Hybe being broke again, because I think a lot of you guys don't realize this. TXT, when they were trainees, they were in broke Hybe. Like, they were in broke ass Big Hit. Like, yes, they debuted in what, like 2017? No, it was more like 2018 or 2019. That is true. They did debut then when BTS were kind of at their top, but they were trainees for much, much longer. I'm pretty sure Yeonjun trained with some of the members of BTS, didn't he? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But they had been there for a long time, and they had been training in Big Hit when they were broken in the basement. So they've seen Big Hit and Hybe grow into what it is, just like BTS have. So they kind of have this bit of guard up. If you have grown up poor, you might recognize this kind of mentality of, we were once poor and we might lose a lot of money, so we need to prepare for that again. We need to be prepared to be broke again. That's just kind of the we grew up broke kind of mentality that BTS and TXT share. Let's move on. This is 17, the Four of Cups reversed. They're bored. They're laying dormant. Somebody who stands 17, please let me know. When's the last time they've had a comeback? When's the last time they did something? Because if it's been recent, that's sus to me. Like, was it like, when was their last comeback, and was it promoted? That's what I think I want to know. When was their last comeback, and when was it, like, how was it promoted? Was it promoted well, or was it promoted like shit? And did they go to, like, music shows or not? Have they not had a comeback in, like, a year? Because they feel almost a little basemented. They feel like they're kind of, like, in the cellars of Hybe. Like, I don't know. They just kind of have this, I don't want to call it frustrating. It's more like we're tired and bored and we're doing nothing. Like, it's apathetic. They don't care, honestly. They don't really give a fuck about Hybe, and they don't really give a fuck about any of it. They're more just like, okay, when are we gonna, like, actually make some music, though? You know what? I don't stand 17, but I kind of respect this, because to me, it's like, they don't give a fuck about any of this drama. They just care about the artistry. They just want to make music. And I kind of like that. I like that mentality. They're kind of, honestly, they feel a little separated from the rest of these groups. Not in like a deep way. I don't mean like they're on like the outskirts. It just kind of feels like they are a little less involved in not necessarily the company, but just a little less involved with like the other groups as some of the others are. I don't really know why that is. It could just be because they're from Pledis, and Pledis was like a group, Pledis was a company before they got bought by Hybe. So maybe that's why, or maybe it just is because they have a completely different like CEO. Didn't the CEO of Pledis change too? I read somewhere like a lot of positions got changed out of Hybe in just like the past like week or two. Was Pledis one of them? I'm not sure how they feel about that. And I know that Formis 9 has decided not to renew their contract, but I don't know if that's necessarily because of Hybe. I think that's because of Pledis. I didn't read if they gave like a statement or anything. I did not read that. But I'll get to Formis 9 in just a minute. Because they're up next. But as far as 17 goes, it just kind of feels like it just kind of feels like they're a bit separated. They're kind of like, we don't care. We don't care. We're tired. Can we please just make some goddamn music? That's what they feel like. I respect that. Let's move on to Formis 9, who have decided not to renew their contracts. I'm not sure when exactly their disbandment date's going to be, but I did see that they are disbanding. It's very sad. But hopefully, sometimes with disbandment, it can do even better things for the artist. Disbandment doesn't have to be this negative, terrible thing. And you gotta think, I'm pretty sure Formis 9 hasn't had a comeback in literally forever. I know that like Formis 9 has been kind of pushed back and not promoted in the same way that a lot of other groups have. But seeing the death card here actually gives me a lot of hope for them, because I'm seeing a positive change. I'm seeing a new chapter. One book closes and another opens. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the members kind of separate, some debut in a new group, some go on like some show, some you know what I'm talking about, the idol shows, like produce. I don't think they do produce shows anymore, but they have a bunch of like copycats. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of them went on there, or some of them like went to acting or something else. It just seems like they were all ready for a change, and that's coming for them. And so I'm kind of happy for them. It's not negative. It's not scary. It's just a change, and they're ready for it. They've prepared for it, and I think they're ready to just move on. And I'm happy for them, and I'm glad that they made that decision if that was what they wanted. And they felt like Formis 9 just wasn't serving them anymore, wasn't serving their artistry. Who's next? Viviz, G-Friend. G-Friend is the Ace of Wands reversed. So I think that Viviz, they feel, you know what, I'm gonna pull for them. Because this is actually a little different than what I saw last time. A lot of these ones are kind of the same. I'm not even gonna lie to you. A lot of them have been like the same. But this is different, so I want to look a bit deeper and see what I can see for them. Well, first of all, oh no. Oh no. This is sad to me. Okay, so let me explain something. In the last reading I did off camera, the one that I said that I got rid of because y'all would have thought I was lying by what I said in that video. Their energy was completely the opposite of this. They were excited. They were ready to get back out there. They were getting a bunch of opportunities. Maybe not opportunities, but a lot of, you know, hyping up, I guess. Yeah. That's been smoke blown up their asses. They're not getting the opportunities they thought they were. And they feel like they have been dangled. Yeah. They feel like they've been chasing a carrot on a stick. And they're never going to be able to grab it because there's people that don't want them to grab it. Again, this is completely different from the last time I read them, which was about a week ago. So they're feeling almost a little hard on themselves because they're almost feeling like we should have seen this coming. It almost feels like the things that they were being told, they're now like, that was too good to be true. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm really hoping that this doesn't affect their comeback. Did they already come back? I'm not sure. I don't follow G-Friend or Viviz like that. I know that there were talks about them coming back. I know that they, you know, Enhypen left, so they kind of came back into the scene. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they've actually debuted or not. If they have, then this might be a one-time thing. It might be a one-time thing, or it might not be very well promoted. Yeah. This makes me upset because I know a lot of people really love G-Friend, and I know that they were done very dirty when the Hybe, the Hybe empire got started. I know they got kind of fucked in that. So this makes me sad to see. Hopefully I'm reading this wrong, and hopefully this can be turned around. You know, things can always change, and that's something that I think people might not understand about tarot, is that yes, I am tapping into the energy, but this is current energy. You know what I mean? Tarot, in all technicalities, cannot necessarily tell you things that haven't happened yet. It can only tell you things that have happened, and from that, you can infer what's going to happen. That's what tarot is. And because of that, just because this is their energy now, doesn't mean that it's going to forever be their energy. This could change. So don't freak out. Don't freak out. Just keep it in mind, you know? Keep it in mind and try to work against that. Try to promote your faves and try to, you know, support them. Support their comebacks. Push it. You know, if a company's not promoting something, the fans have to do it. That's what kept Luna afloat for so long. And the fans are also the reason why Luna got free. So, fans are very powerful. Use that to your advantage. Let's move on. We're moving on to Katseye. Katseye, kind of the wild card I threw in here just because I love Katseye and I wanted to read them. They're the Three of Wands reversed. For them, okay, so I will say they do feel kind of out on the outs in a similar way to how 17 did. But what's interesting here, hold on, I'm actually gonna pull for them. What's interesting here is that they're kind of like outsiders looking in at all of these other groups, but I want to see exactly what they're thinking. Because I can't really see what they're thinking with the Three of Wands. Just that they're like outside looking in. Okay. They feel like New Jeans are young money makers, which they are. And they feel like they've been carrying too much of a burden. And that these decisions that they're making, they feel like, how do I explain this? Katseye kind of feel like New Jeans are making kind of misguided decisions. I think that as an outsider, they're kind of looking in at a same kind of viewpoint that fans are, and kind of going, well, you don't really have grounds to do that though, right? Like, why, like, it's almost like making a decision without knowing the consequences of the decision. That's kind of how they feel. They feel like New Jeans just did this and they don't realize what could potentially happen. Which, if you're unaware of what could potentially happen, it's a massive debt that New Jeans have to repay. Is kind of the worst case scenario. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it could. And that's kind of what they're thinking too. You know, they're young and they've been carrying a lot, and they both simultaneously respect their decision to step up, and also they're worried for them. It feels, again, they're looking at it from the same perspective as the fans do and as like K-pop stans do. So they kind of have that same viewpoint of, okay, well, I'm happy that you're doing something you want to do, but let's be cautious. That's what I feel. And the last one, which is the one I'm very sorry I forgot, is enhypen. Enhypen is the Five of Cups. It's kind of about walking away from things. So, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I did the last reading, I had to do a completely separate reading on enhypen. Like, filmed separately. Because their energy was so confusing to me and I didn't understand it, and that I had to do a completely separate reading to understand it. And basically what I saw there, besides just being overworked, they feel a little pushed back. They're workhorses for Hybe. Enhypen work very, very hard, and they make Hybe a good bit of money. And because of that, they're just kind of expected to pump out a bunch of content. And they're tired. They're tired. They're over it. I don't know if they've had a comeback recently. And when I say recently, I mean in the last 6 months. But I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing enhypen less and less. And I don't want to scare anybody. And I don't want you guys to think like, oh, that means to spam it, because it doesn't. It just means that they're taking breaks. I was talking a lot about how their energy was very muted. So if they weren't currently taking a break, they should be taking a break. And I think that enhypen fans know that, because I know that I've seen trending like hashtags for them before. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we started to hear less about them. Like if the, you know, less comebacks, less tours, less concerts, less photo shoots, you know, they need a break, and hopefully they get it. They're tired, and their energy is low. Like yeah. I'm gonna pull some cards for them, just to give you guys a bit more clarity. I will say, I think that they're happy for New Jeans. And I think that they don't have the same issues with New Jeans and Enhypen and Adore that some of these other groups do. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Was enhypen ever included in any of Enhypen's like ramblings and attacks on like Hybe groups? I know it was BTS and Sserafim and Illit. Were they a part of that? Because if not, that kind of checks out. They don't have that same kind of issues with her. So they're just kind of happy for them. I think they're more focused on themselves, I think. Yeah, they're just trying to work, do their own thing in their own kind of corner of Hybe. And I respect that. Okay. Well, this video has been plenty long enough, so I'm going to leave this here. And if you guys liked this, please let me know. If there were any groups that you want a deeper reading about, I can do another reading about them separately. But I think I covered a good bit here. So yeah, if you guys liked this, please let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!